Man, the internet is really a goldmine for a bit of online hustle. You dig around and bam, you score these killer deals that could turn a decent profit. A few years ago, I was all about it. It wasn't just for the money though. It was like this hobby for me. Exploring different sites, sniffing out deals, buying stuff, and flipping it for a bit of extra cash always brought a grin to my face. But little did I know, my fun little side gig was about to get seriously weird. For 3 solid years, my trusty ride was this beat-up bicycle. Now, I'm no car person. I never enjoyed driving a motor vehicle. My faithful bike was hanging in there, but it was showing signs. Rust creeping in, wheels jamming, and that annoying squeal every time I pedaled. It was really time for a needed upgrade. So, to fund my new wheels, I thought, why not fix up the old bike and chuck it on Craigslist? I gave it a facelift, threw on a new paint job, snapped pics from every angle, and set up the ad. The ad quickly got some traction. I was getting messages from potential buyers, most of which were either asking about the bike's condition or were trying to negotiate the price. But then, out of nowhere, a comment stops me in my tracks. That was my son's bike. I was scratching my head, thinking, what's this dude talking about? I got this bike firsthand ages ago. No way it was stolen. I didn't really pay it much mind. I figured it was just someone trolling. Believe me, there are a lot of them on the internet. But oh man, it didn't end there. Suddenly, I was being bombarded with the same comment from dozens of other accounts. That was my son's bike. They were spamming me like there's no tomorrow. I found myself forced to delete the ad and lock down my messages to stop the madness. Night falls, and I was chilling on the couch watching TV, and the bike is just staring at me. I can't shake off what happened. But just as I was trying to convince myself it's just some internet prank, I get a message on my private phone number. That was my son's bike. Cold sweat ran through my body, and I felt as if I was suffocating. I never shared my number on Craigslist or anywhere on the internet. I wasn't dumb enough to do that. I was feeling watched in my own home. My dark room didn't help at all. I jumped up, turned on all the lights, and tried to knock myself and get some sleep because the next day's work was waiting. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, I wake up for no reason at all. I notice my phone's blinking. I got a notification from the Ring app. My front door's camera caught something. Watching the stream, I felt as if I was about to faint. All I could see was this huge, very pale dude just standing there motionless, staring into the camera. He wasn't moving, but his lips were, and I could easily read them. That was my son's bike. I dialed the cops immediately. They rushed in shortly after, but the guy was nowhere to be found, as if he simply vanished into thin air. For the past 27 years, I've called the same house home. It's the place my late wife Jane and I poured our sweat and tears into acquiring. Tragically, Jane succumbed to the clutches of the COVID pandemic a few years back, leaving me to navigate this world alone. We'd tried for children, but fortune didn't favor us in that regard. In the face of this immense loss, what kept me going was the warmth of the community that surrounded me. The young and the old alike embraced me as one of their own, providing solace in my solitude. I've always been a man of simpler tastes, finding pleasure in the classics, books, radio, and an old TV set. My entertainment extended to a collection of coins, and I remained indifferent to the relentless march of technology. My trusty Nokia 6300 served as my cellular companion, and the internet was a realm I knew of, but had never ventured into. News reached me through the daily newspaper, and the weather forecast was on radio every day at 10 p.m. One day, as I was cooking something to eat, the unfamiliar sound of my phone ringing echoed from another room. Calls had become a rarity in my life lately. It was Josh, a great guy in his 40s with whom I had shared a lot of my free time. We would meet in my house, play chess, watch football, and discuss some politics. His inquiry about my well-being carried an unusual undertone of sadness and concern. "So, where are you off to?" he asked. "Excuse me?" I responded, completely unaware of what he meant. "You're selling your house, right? I saw the ad on Craigslist." "Craigslist?" The term was alien to me. I invited Josh to my home to shed light on the matter. Minutes later, with laptop in tow, Josh and I sat in my living room. As he unveiled the screen, the puzzle pieces fell into place. Craigslist, I learned, was a platform for classified ads. But what really disturbed me was that my very own house was featured in an ad. Whoever did that even shared my full name and address. I was entirely lost. I hadn't posted any such ad, and I didn't even know how to gain access to the internet back then. But this was nothing but the beginning. The revelation went further. Several pictures of my house were included, all captured from the exact same angle. Instinctively, I leapt to my feet, seized Josh's laptop, and rushed to the window. Examining the photos repeatedly, I pinpointed the precise location they were taken from. To my dismay, they all originated from the window of the long-abandoned house next door, untouched for almost a decade. Adding to the eerie atmosphere, one detail gripped my attention. In every photo, a faint reflection revealed the figure of a woman. She appeared to be in her 30s, adorned in a white robe. Her long, charcoal hair gave her a ghostly appearance. The image made my stomach churn. Her eyes, haunted by dark bags, locked onto the camera through the window's reflection, as if she wanted us to see her. Comments on the ad demanded interior pictures, understandably oblivious to the situation. Realizing the gravity, I called the cops, who found no trace of the woman in the abandoned house. The next day, a concerned Josh knocked on my door. "Look, this is serious," he uttered as he showed me the laptop again. The ad had an update, and my heart nearly stopped at the new pictures. They were all showcasing the interior of my house, taken in the dark. Every room was captured, except the one I slept in. However the hell she did it, that woman had access to my house and roamed free whenever she liked. 3 months ago, my beautiful wife and I received the joyful news of expecting a precious baby girl. The excitement radiated through our little family, and we wasted no time diving into preparations. Our days were filled with parenting books, heartfelt discussions with our parents, and numerous shopping trips to ensure everything was ready for our little one. In the midst of this anticipation, I stumbled upon a Craigslist ad that promised the perfect addition to our preparations. A stunning wooden crib with delightful wooden toys, all at an unbelievably fair price. The seller, Veronica, a 60-year-old lady residing just 30 minutes away, shared my wife's name, funny enough. We set a meeting time, and I decided to drive there using my private vehicle. However, as I messaged Veronica along the way and upon my arrival, her responses were absent. Undeterred, I approached her doorstep and knocked persistently, considering the possibility she can't hear well. The silence persisted for what felt like an eternity, until, at last, slow footsteps approached the door. To my surprise, Veronica peered at me through a window, her eyes analyzing me in an unsettling silence. Attempting to ease the tension, I introduced myself and explained that I was there to buy the crib. Yet she remained motionless, a silent observer behind the glass. Eventually, the door creaked open, and she gestured for me to enter. Inside, I discovered a completely vacant house. No furniture, no signs of life whatsoever. As we moved toward the room where the crib supposedly awaited, Veronica's demeanor shifted. She abruptly turned, wide-eyed, expressing discontent and claiming, "Can you please be more quiet? You'll wake my baby up." I apologized, completely confused, as I knew for a fact there was no one other than the two of us in this house. However, I just kept following her. She finally unlocked the door, opening it widely as she pointed. "Here is the crib. Feel free to check it." I didn't know what the woman was talking about. Like the rest of the house, this room was entirely empty. Not a piece of wood was there to be found. As my confusion mounted, the woman grew increasingly agitated, insisting I pick the non-existent crib and leave. "Fast! Don't waste my time!" she kept yelling. Feeling terrified, I decided it was time for me to leave this place, only to discover that the door was locked. Veronica trailed behind, slow and unsettling, protesting my departure.
"You are such a waste of time. You did nothing but wake up my baby Emma."
Her mentioning Emma resonated deeply, as it was the name me and my wife have chosen for our unborn child. It felt as if this was my family from a different dimension. Suddenly aware of potential danger, I forced the window open and escaped to my car. As I sped away, I glimpsed Veronica standing frozen at the door, her eyes locked onto mine, inaudibly shouting words of which I remained oblivious to this day.